Hello, my name is Marc Seifer. I'm the author of the Rudy Styne Quadrilogy, which are 4 novels that I've written over the course of, my God, got to be 30 years. Today I'd like to speak about books 2 and 3, Doppleganger and Crystal Night. They all started when I wanted to deal with 3 themes. The first was adoption, the second, computer hacking, and the third, the Holocaust. I had my work cut out for me, I have to admit. When I taught for 39 years, and I had a number of kids in my class that had been adopted, and many of them wanted to find out their birth parents, their biological parents. And so I wanted that to be a theme in the book, that Rudy Styne, the ace reporter from Modern Times magazine, would find out that he was not biologically related to his mother. He's on the trail of a computer hacker, and he goes to Germany to visit, like the Stephen Jobs of Germany, and he runs into his doppelganger, his double, his dead ringer. So Rudy, when he comes home and finds out that he's not biologically related to his mom, he now thinks about this German double that he's run into, and he realizes that maybe there's a connection to him and this German. And so then there is a backstory, and this story takes place, it begins in 1906 with the birth of Abe Maxwell, and it's a story about the Maxwell family. And this Maxwell family will own an airline which they'll try to run in southern Germany at the turn of the century, all the way through World War I in this book, and through World War II in this book. And the Maxwell family are Jewish. So I did a lot of research to try and come up with a company to begin with, because this is the second part of my story, and that is how I got into the Holocaust, why I wanted to write about the Holocaust. It had to do with my teacher, Bruno Bettelheim. I went to the University of Chicago in the early 1970s, and Bettelheim was my teacher. And what we knew was that he had gotten out of Buchenwald, the concentration camp, in 1939, before the war broke out. And we wanted to know how he got out. And the rumor was that he had a letter from Eleanor Roosevelt, because he was famous at the time. And Eleanor Roosevelt was the first lady, and we weren't yet at war with Germany. I also knew Felix Klein, a graphologist who got out of Buchenwald at the same time. So people could get out. But after he died, I found out the real reason that he got out. And the real reason was that the Bettelheim family owned a lumberyard. And what the Nazis did in the late 1930s and early 40s was they would kidnap a family member and then ransom that family member on 10 cents on the dollar to get the lumberyard, or to get the company. So if the lumberyard was worth $100,000, they would tell the Bettelheim family, if you want your son back, we'll give you $10,000, we want your company, and you get your son back. So that, of course, is what they did. And now they want to get the heck out of Vienna, out of Austria. The flight tax was $10,000. That hit me like a ton of bricks. I'd always seen the Holocaust as a way to wipe out the Jews. Now I was looking at the Holocaust in an entirely different way, and that was to steal the Jewish assets. Now what do you do with the people? So what I did was I wrote to the Simon Wiesenthal Center, and I got a list of 900 companies from Hamburg, that's just one city alone, that was stolen by the Nazis. And I went through the list, and I ended up with a car dealership. And what I did was I morphed this car dealership into an airline. So the Maxwell family, there's the older son, Elias Maxwell, who will convert to Christianity because Jews can't own land. And the younger son, Simon Maxwell, who's the ace mechanic who will run the company. So this is 1906, 1910, the Wright brothers. So Simon flies and races against a lot of people like Sopwith and Blériot and Orville Wright in races around 1910. Then World War I breaks out, and he flies for the Kaiser, which means that he gets to fly with the Blue Max, the Red Baron, Ernst Udet, and also Hermann Göring. This was very important to me because I knew that Hermann Göring was an ace pilot in World War I years before he met Adolf Hitler. So in the backstory, the Maxwells will have an in with Hermann Göring. So in this book, that's what it's about. In the backstory, it's how he flies with the Red Baron and the Kaiser during World War I. And in this book, they try to maintain their airline because they know Goring, but eventually they'll be captured in the Holocaust, and some of them won't survive. And Abe Maxwell, this young child who's born in 1906, is now in his late 90s. He wants to sue to get this company back, and it's been absorbed into Lufthansa. So it's now a multi-billion-dollar company. And Rudy Styne, who's the ace reporter, who's run into his German double, will somehow be linked to this. So the modern story is Rudy, as an ace reporter, is on the trail of a computer hacker. And so the computer hacker, this mystery, who this great computer hacker is, runs through both books. So also what's involved here is Rudy's search for his birth parents and his search for his biological mother and his biological father, who he will eventually try to tie into through these two books. So that's a lot of the story of these two books in the Rudy Styne Quadrilogy. They're complex stories. There's a tremendous amount of history in here, particularly on Germany, and they're complex. They don't follow any pattern. This isn't a formula book, but I'm, the author of the Tesla biography, Wizard. I have a tremendous amount of knowledge about history, and so you'll learn a great amount of history. You'll learn also a lot about computer hacking, and also it's a murder mystery. And so that's the story of Doppleganger and Crystal Night. Thank you.